Mr. Edit Man presents. Do you have a job that the average person does not even know exists? I start on Friday as a standardized patient. Essentially, med students practice their bedside manner on me. They practice a lot more than bedside manner on some standardized patients. We have one guy locally who is the go-to for DRES. He gets paid to have a class of med students locate his prostate. I cut eyes out of dead people. I'm an eye bank technician. I surgically remove corneas and whole eyes from donors for cornea transplants and research. I think most people do not want to know about my job. I spent a summer balancing beer trucks. The objective job is to make sure that the beer truck is as full as possible at all times. Ideally picking up on skid of empties when delivering one skid of beer. Beer truck Tetris. It's a thing. Physical hydrogeologist. I image the ground using water flows.
So you're a water bender.
I'm a channel manager at a YouTube network. I basically get paid to watch and maintain YouTube channels all day. My job did not exist when I was in college. For work I get to break into hospitals and steal things. It's referred to as a physical penetration test. It's an integral part of risk assessment, which is required under 164.308 of HIPAA. I routinely pick locks, steal access badges, impersonate medical personnel, harvest data and credentials, crack passwords, and utilize various social engineering tactics. My official title is Information Security Consultant. I have a degree in Information Systems Management, as well as CCNA, Secretary Plus, and CISA certifications. I did not get it, but I once applied for a job as a heritage officer. Sounded normal enough, but it involved basically going around cemeteries photographing graves and keeping a log of them. It was so unusual I was desperate for it, not to mention working alone and out in the fresh air. So what do you? Oh, you know, look at graves. I'm responsible for breaking toys and write reports about them how they break. A totally different job from my previous job, using promotions from online casinos to earn a living and travel the world. I write manuals for tanks, how to operate them, how to repair them, etc.
Fish tanks, pressure tanks, or M1A2 sep tanks.
Blow things up tanks. I sell Lego pieces. I buy bulk Lego sets, normally from Amazon or whoever else online has the best deals, part out the pieces, and list them individually on my online store. My customers are generally one of two people: adults who want 1000 of something, but do not want to buy 100 of a set to get it, such as a red 2x4 brick, to build an enormous structure. Parents whose kid wants a specific minifigure that happens to only come in a set that costs a lot of money. The kid does not want super duper playset number 12. He wants a gold ninja. So instead of spending $130 for the big set, they can spend $15 on just the figure. And it works out well for both of us. Generally I can part out a set for around 250% of its purchase price more if I find it on clearance or in a really good sale. My wife and I also make monthly trips to our nearest Lego store one state over to buy hundreds of dollars of pick-a-brick pieces to put into our inventory. Our store is still pretty small, but there are many people who have become wealthy doing it after a lot of hard work. It requires some initial investment, willingness to run to the post office to occasionally ship a 3-cent part, and excellent customer service skills. The largest hazard of the job, your chances of stepping on a Lego in the middle of the night go up substantially when you have over 100,000 pieces in the house. I'm an assistant for an escort service. I lost my real and pretty good job about a month ago. Now I schedule appointments for escorts. Most of my friends know. My mom thinks I'm a personal assistant. I kinda am. For a while I repaired books at a library. I think most people assume that when books get old they are thrown away and bought new, unless they are collectible. Well, the composition of books in a research university's library is very different from a local branch library, and almost everything we had was collectible in some way, not necessarily monetarily valuable, but often rare. Many early 1900s books about local economic policies, and proceedings from city council meetings, and a whole lot of grad thesis that had not been checked out once since their publication. I manage an adult literacy program. Most people think it is some sort of elaborate book club, or that I'm mistaken and meant to say that I teach children to read and write. Sadly, my job exists because 1 in 6 adults are functionally illiterate where I live. I work for a superstore and they send me to a competitor across the street in plain clothes. I take a device, PDA, that holds a list of items on it. I locate the items and record the price. Every week, I'm a competitive shopper. Edit. People are asking how I got in this. They had a person doing it before me. They left the company due to health reasons and my boss offered me the position. It's not as cool as it sounds. It is boring and tedious and annoying. They alternate between two lists that have the same shite on it aside from a couple hundred. Usually the prices do not change more than a couple pennies, so it feels like a waste of time.
At a previous job we had a guy that did that. Eventually we just asked him if he wanted the price list we made every week.
I would do anything for them to give me that. Not me, but one of my best friends writes jingles for commercials. Advertising firms fly him out to Nashville, like once every other month for a week, and tell him what kind of vibe they want, and he just thinks of 30 seconds of goofy shite to give them. I maintain hiking trails in our national forests. I camp out for 8 days at a time, with 6-day weekends. While out camping, I clear down dead trees from the trails with chainsaws, crosscut saws, build bridges, retaining walls, drain water off the trail, fix rock/landslides, cut down large trees, etc. I hike most everywhere with my crew, although we use horses and mules to carry out camping equipment. Some places require us to ride ATVs and dirt bikes, while other places are only accessible by jet boat or airplane. I love my job. I get paid $16.50 an hour. I get to live in nature damn near all year long. And I do not really have much time to spend my money. I work for the USFS. My job title is Wilderness Technician of Trails. And you can apply for jobs like mine all over the country on userjobs.gov. Search for Wilderness Tech, Recreation Tech, or Trails Tech. I put music in movie trailers. Pretty random and pretty awesome. I make pig feed. They are not just FedCon. A lot of science involved. Their diets change almost monthly with the weather, so we are constantly changing the nutrients we give them. Also a little nugget that blows my mind. Pigs naturally will bite each other's tails off as a dominance thing, like squirrels do. However, simply increasing their magnesium in the diet will make them not bite each other. For some reason it has a calming effect on them. I work in nuclear power plants around the country. When they shut down every 18 months or so, I go inside reactors and refurbish and test motor actuators on valves to ensure safe operating conditions. A few quick things in case anyone is curious. No, it's nothing like The Simpsons. Yes, I'm exposed to radiation and no, I do not glow at night. This exposure is constantly monitored and relatively safe. It is a very well paid job, but somewhat dangerous due to safety concerns and high levels of quality we must adhere to. I make people do a shot of Screech, kiss a codfish, and say funny thing. My official job title is Screecherina. It's a tourism job for the province of Newfoundland, and I do it every day over the summer, twice a day. It's the tradition here for welcoming people to the island, and is basically the best job ever. I write instruction manuals for installing various equipment. Even the people I work with do not know what I do.
Man, I bet that's a genuinely difficult job. How much do you have to dumb stuff down?
I receive technical drawings from engineers in the form of Pro-E diagrams. I build the manuals from those. Some manuals are easy replace and paste types of projects. Others require building manuals from scratch. The job is obscure for sure. I'm a travel trainer. I teach people with learning disabilities how to use public transport independently. It's an awesome job. I'm a sign artist at a well-known neighborhood grocery chain. Everything in the store is drawn/written by hand, even down to the price tags on the shelves. I'm the one that wakes up at the crack of dawn to do this. Cute illustrations on the displays? Me. Awesome window paintings outside? Me. Hilarious cartoons and wall murals? Or me. When I mention it to people, they have never noticed. I worked at Trader Joe's, too. The artists never leave the store, and for good reason. I string tennis rackets. My only clients are the 1% in town. I do user interface design. Not only does the average person not know it exists, I can show my work to the average person and they would not see it. That's how I know when I did a good job. It sucks when software developers do not know it exists. I monitor offenders that are on conditional release, house arrest, etc. Some of them have an ankle bracelet that locates them via GPS and others are under the voice recognition system. This is a system in where the offender gets a check-in call at random times of their curfew. There is a recorded version of their voice and this software verifies that is the same voice. If they fail the call, I call the offender and ask him/her questions to verify their identity. Depending on the risk level, I can call the police to report a breach. Not me, but my aunt is one of the leaders of the ski patrol at Breckenridge Ski Mountain in Colorado. One of her many jobs there is to fly around in helicopters and throw dynamite out the window in order to set off avalanches before someone does it accidentally. If you are reading this, you watched until the end of the video. Smash that like button if you have enjoyed it. Bam. On screen there should be some more videos similar to this. So either go do something else or watch more videos. That's about it. There is no more here. What are you waiting for, a secret message or something? This is not a secret, but subscribe for more videos like this.